YouTube. Thanks for checking out another Fat Guy Builds episode. In this episode, we're going to deal with cooling. This is the performance pack, so it already has a bigger radiator than the standard GT. So I will be selling this locally. If anybody has a standard GT, they want a better radiator. But, booyah! We're going to go Mishimoto. Here's the part number for the radiator. First thing we're going to tear apart is this cover here. So take all these clips out and pull this piece off. Please make sure you only do this when everything is cold to the touch. So I'll open up the radiator system here, and then we're going to go under the car and we're going to drain the coolant. Take this under tray all the way off, so that you're going to have to take off all the clips, all of these. I think they're 7mm bolts here, there, everywhere. Take them all off and remove the entire bottom piece. On the passenger side of the radiator, we have here a little nipple, here a little twist. So we're going to twist that, and the radiator fluid will come out, and then you're going to want to try to catch it in something. It's probably still going to make a mess. This is a clean one I'm going to use for radiator fluid, but AutoZone has those other buckets. Just use those. Yeah, so I'm going to lefty-loosey that and drain it. Loosen and remove the driver's side radiator hose. Remove all hoses and take out these 10mm bolts and pull out your overflow. We need to get the fan assembly out, but the intake's in the way. So I'm going to unplug the MAF and just unscrew the intake enough, and then just pop this up and out of the way. Remove this little hose on the driver's side. Loosen and remove the top radiator hose on the passenger side. On the passenger side, remove this connection here for the electric fans. Use a 10mm to remove these two and these two, and this is what holds the top of the radiator in. Push the radiator forward, and then there's going to be little tabs here where the AC condenser is clipped in. So you're just going to pull it forward and then lift the condenser till it comes out of these little slots on both sides, and that'll free up the radiator from that condenser. Once the condenser is removed from the radiator, you pull the radiator and the fan assembly all out as one piece. It's going to be a lot easier, since this is thicker, to put the radiator in first. So you put the radiator in. Now we're going to put the condenser back in the clips that are welded onto this radiator. I found it the easiest to get these tabs lined up to this side has the lines, right? So I found it easiest to hook the other side, both of them, and then pull this as far towards the passenger side as you can, because you need to clear that one line up there. And yeah, just play with it and it'll go in. But if you try doing this from the top, it's gonna suck. It's easier at the bottom. Remove these two 10mm bolts, one there, one over there. Now slip the fans out of the little clips on the bottom. One's on that side, one's on that side. Use a flathead, pry up on that little safety clip, pull off these factory clips, and we're going to put those onto the new radiator. Now slide it in. Make sure the bottom two fingers go in the slots at the bottom of the radiator. Then line up the holes You can move it a little bit side to side, line up the holes, put the factory bolts on the top too. Now is a great time to flush out the rest of your system and make a mess everywhere like I did. I should have did this shit outside, but whatever. Anyways, now hook up all your hoses back to where they go. More or less just put everything back together, and then we'll get to filling and bleeding. Alright, you're going to start the car. While you're filling it, you're going to try to keep it in the middle as much as possible. You're going to let it go through, try to get most of the air bubbles out. It'll go down, you fill it, it'll go down, you'll fill it, and then if it doesn't go down again, shut it off, let it cool all the way down, and then see where it's at. If you have to, top it off a little bit, then put the cap on, and then you're going to check it for the next 3 days, because I had it for 3 days in a row, it dropped a little bit. So drive it like normal, let it cool all the way down, then check it, and do that 3 days in a row just to make sure it doesn't drop anymore. And while you're doing this initial one, you have the heater on full blast. That way you get the bubbles out of the heater system. I'd like to thank everybody for checking out another Fat Guy Builds episode. Hope this helped you save some cash and learn something at the same time. And check me out on Facebook. I got a page. If you're local to Albuquerque and you want to get some mods done, let me know. Other than that, wrench on.